This is the Business of Leadership Series Minute with your host, the best-selling author of Don't Buy a Duck and founder of MarketingStrategyHero.com, Derek Champagne.
I'm super excited about the guest that we have today, Jesse Cole. You might have seen him around. See, I saw him before I even knew him, and I know him a little bit now, but I actually saw the things he was doing and the splash he was making in his world and the attention that was happening around him. I said, I got to interview this guy. This is somebody that our audience needs to meet, needs to hear from. And after that, I had the opportunity to get to know him better, and now we're even in the same mastermind together, which is just beyond cool. Jesse's the owner of Fans First Entertainment. He owns and operates the Savannah Bananas and the Gastonia Grizzlies, and their teams welcomed more than 1 million fans to their ballpark. You've seen them on MSNBC, CNN, ESPN. Jesse, welcome to our Business Leadership Series show.
Yeah, pumped to be here today.
I want to get into talking about your book in just a minute, but I want to ask you a few other questions first, more personal questions. Tell me, with all of the things you've had so far, what's your proudest accomplishment that you've had, personal or professional? What stands out to you? And it doesn't have to be a giant moment. It could be, or it could be a small moment where you realize that you were onto something, or that was meaningful to you.
For me, it's the emotional moments that come to mind. You know, it's the moments like, I mean, I don't want to tell too long stories, but a moment when a gentleman came up to me at the end of a game, one of the last games of the year, and gave me the biggest hug that I've ever received, and said, "You have no idea how much your games mean to me." I go, "Oh, thanks, I really appreciate it." He goes, "My mother and I haven't talked in years, but she came to one of the first games and watched the players dance and had the time of her life. My mother and I now sit together at every one of your games, and you brought our relationship back together." And it's moments like that that really means a lot from a fan perspective, but it's other moments like when, unfortunately, one of our young employees, his father just recently died. He's only 24 years old and his father died, and he was really emotional, and there was a hurricane going down in Savannah and everyone was leaving, and I was up in Charlotte and I drove the opposite direction. I was free flowing, there was no one on my highway, and I was coming back for the wake, and our whole entire staff was there at the wake with him, and I gave Patrick a hug and he didn't let go, and he said, "I love you, man." And what we've built is a connection of love. And I know a lot of employers, a lot of companies don't like to talk about love. We talk about it all the time, and we are a family. So it's those moments that I know we all have each other's backs. We love each other. We care for each other. It's not what they're doing for us from a business perspective. It's what we're doing for people and our fans and our staff. And that's what matters most. So there's so many great moments that I can think about the ballpark that, 32 straight sellouts and thousands of people having the time of their life. But it's those individual moments that I'll never forget because it was a real meaningful human connection. And I think that's what matters most in business.
Yeah, that's great. Love that. Those small moments. And love does have a place in business. You're so right. And Tim Sanders, who's been a guest on our show and has been a friend of our show, is a best-selling author. He wrote Love is the Killer app. He worked with Mark Cuban for all those first early years and learned firsthand from Mark as a buddy and a business partner about having love in the workplace and showing that. I think it's important and it's not shown enough. So thank you for bringing that out and living that. And what a reward to hear a fan share something that's way bigger than baseball and entertainment that was meaningful to them. That's huge. That's 100%. So rewarding.